Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Stuart and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Stuart's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and lots of motivations that we give Stuart when we're working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You're going to be introduced to that training equipment and taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session on Wednesday with Brandy. Now, Stuart is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Stuart, heel.
Stuart, heel.
Now at this point, Stuart has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when walking. Stuart is a dog that does obedience because he has to, not because he likes it, and that's okay, because with Stuart's aggression problems, he needs to be made to do some things that he doesn't always like to do. And heeling is basic obedience 101. Walking on a leash, walking with your owner, walking at the owner's pace, turning when the owner turns, and sitting when you stop walking, so that when you're walking down the street and you stop to cross traffic, Stuart's sitting nicely at your left and waiting for his next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand under voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. The long sit stay, when you're practicing at home, you're going to start out at about 30 seconds and you're going to slowly work up to 3 minutes. You can practice indoors as well as outdoors, and when Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him, he gets back to his shoulders and he stops, and at this point Stuart expects to get another command. And Rich tells him to heel again. And Rich is talking to him, telling him he's a good boy, and we don't want him to think he's going to the gallows, but because he needed to learn some self-control and maturity, he's got to do it. We're going to tell you you're a good boy for doing it well. Stay. Nice sit. Stay. Rich backs up to the end of his training leash and turns to face Stuart. And this time, instead of returning back to him, he's going to call him, and this is your come on command. He praises him on the way in. Stuart sits and looks up at Rich, and Rich tells him he's a good boy. He goes back to heel and back sitting. And none of this came easy for Stuart. Stuart's used to doing things his own way. So he doesn't like to be told what to do. He doesn't like to perform tasks. But I think with you, he'll be more upbeat about it, and he'll probably test you as well. He sits.
Stay.
Rich leaves him in a stay. And Rich is going to call him again. Comes right in and sits, and then he goes back to heel and back sitting.
Good job.
Very good job, Stuart. He's starting to loosen up now, his tail's up. Now the next commands were some of the hardest to teach Stuart. He went kicking and screaming, but we got it. The first one is the down from a heel position. So with him seated first at your left, you're going to use your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay can be practiced right in your living room. You're going to start out at about a minute, and you're going to slowly work up to 5. When Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him exactly as he did on the sit stay, back to heel position, and he's going to give him another command. So he heels him out of that. Gotta love Stuart's little attitude. Always have him seated before you attempt to put him into a down, and stay. And the nice part about it is he's doing it first command. He's not trying to bite. He's giving in. He's like, okay, you're the boss and I'm not. Back to heel position, turns around and sits. If he doesn't sit, you heard Rich say no sit, and he did it immediately. And the very last command that we're going to demonstrate for you on this video is your down from a distance. And this is a harder command because you're not right next to the dog. So Rich backs away from him, facing him. Shake it off.
Down. No. All the way. Down. Down.
Now, he didn't want to go down from a distance, so Rich didn't give up. He put him into a down from a heel again. And that's okay. You just have to win every battle with Stuart that you take on. You have to be prepared to finish it. Now, we've demonstrated for you Stuart's formal on-leash obedience commands. We'll have lots to talk about when you come to get him on Wednesday. And you can see that down inside of that grumpy little face, there's a sweet dog just waiting to come out. We've enjoyed having him, however challenging he has been. And I think that he's had a good time, and he certainly has learned a lot. So I want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company. Have a happy holiday, and we will see you soon.